As soon as I see those warning signs, I need to act. I need to change something I'm doing. I need to, as I said, I need to go back to the Bible, go back to faith so that I can avoid feeling burnt out. Now for me, I think one of the main reasons why I actually got burnt out is because I was trying to conform to this hustle culture. This generation has a hustle culture. We constantly feel the need to be doing something 24/7. Even when we're sleeping, the hours that we should be sleeping, getting our beauty sleep, we feel like we need to be doing something. People, I hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to my channel for my existing subscribers, and for those of you who have never seen my face before, hi, welcome. My name's Fran, and on my channel I film videos of anything and everything, usually to do with life as a medical student. Life as a medical student. I've just finished my first year of medicine at Oxford, so my videos are usually alongside those lines. Wow, anyways, two things to mention before I progress with this video. Number one is that I'm filming this video at midnight. It's 4 minutes to midnight. So if you hear any random noises in the background, just know that my area is the ghetto.
I'm in the ghetto.
Strange things happen in this neighborhood around late hours. And number two, I'm wearing this jacket and I know no one cares or no one asked for a story. I just thought it looked cute, you know them ones. I saw it hanging on the back of my door and I just thought it looked cute, so I picked it up. Anyways, jokes aside, so as you can tell from the title, I'm giving you guys an update video. I was actually inspired by V. She filmed an update video and she was just being so transparent, and I just loved how comfortable she was with her subscribers. And over the past couple of days, I've just been feeling low in terms of my productivity, emotionally, just my overall outlook on life. And I feel as though it's really important, especially as a sort of influencer who has kind of an audience of almost 4,000 of you, crazy, to kind of show you that life isn't always perfect, to kind of show you both the highlights and the lowlights. And I thought this update video would be useful in sharing with you my lowlights, but also putting a positive spin on it. And I think so many of you guys out there can relate to it. You're probably a very ambitious student, which is amazing. You have your goals and you want to achieve them, but oftentimes it's so easy for us to set those goals, to strive towards those goals, and to easily neglect our own mental health, which is just as important as our academic health, you know? So we're currently at the beginning of July, and if you guys have been keeping up with me on this channel, you will know that I have basically finished my first year of medicine, of medicine. I cannot believe it. Listen, if you would have spoken to me 6 months ago when I was in the middle of an essay crisis and told me that I would finish first year in the middle of a pandemic, I would not have believed you at all. But honestly guys, although all these amazing things have happened in my life, I realized that over the past couple of days it's been easy for me to have a negative outlook on that, and that has been kind of the result of this emotional, academic, energetic burnout. And I just want to talk to you guys about that. So a lot of us probably experience burnout. It's kind of that feeling where you essentially overwork yourself. So think of your body as an engine almost. You overwork that engine and you kind of neglect looking after your mental wealth and well-being. Your mental health can't keep up with the momentum of your everyday life, the hustle and bustle of your everyday life. And as a result, you get to that point where your mind, your brain, your overall entity is just like, halt, I can't go on for any further. And then you just go crashing down. For me, what that looks like is days in bed, Netflix marathons, binging on food, disregarding my health, disregarding self-care, all those kind of things. Big or small, unhealthy stress coping mechanisms are still unhealthy stress coping mechanisms. Whether that be you turning to alcohol, to the bottle to help you cope, to help you numb kind of the pain, or whether that be you turning to sleep to kind of help you avoid situations that can induce stress, that is still unhealthy for you. And it's definitely so important and has been kind of a journey of growth. Me personally learning to identify what my unhealthy habits are. The reason why they're unhealthy is because I was disengaging from my emotions. I wasn't really tackling the root of my issues, if that made sense. The root of why I entered into that cycle of burnout in the first place. Now for me, I think one of the main reasons why I actually got burnt out is because I was trying to conform to this hustle culture that we see all over Instagram, all over YouTube. This generation has a hustle culture. We constantly feel the need to be doing something 24/7. Even when we're sleeping, the hours that we should be sleeping, getting our beauty sleep, we feel like we need to be doing something. My friends will know. They know that I will do the most when it comes to my ideas, for projects, for YouTube ideas, for things that I need to be doing, for my academics. They will know that I'm doing the most. And my mom, if any of you talk to my mom, I don't know why you would, but if any of you happen to talk to my mom, she will tell you about the endless amount of times that I would be waking up at 7 o'clock randomly. I'd be sleeping at 4 a.m. in the morning because I was editing a video or I was writing video ideas, and I'd be waking up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. because my mind wouldn't switch off. So when I was going to bed, I was thinking about things I needed to be doing. It's actually crazy. There'd never be an off switch. I would constantly be on like an engine with no rest at all, and as a result, it led to me feeling burnt out. As soon as I woke up, I was on the game. As soon as I woke up, I was like, what's the first thing I need to do? Oh my god, okay, I need to finish editing this video. I need to post the video by 12 p.m. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I was everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I was constantly running towards goals. And when I reached those goals, because I wasn't taking the time to slow down, appreciate my accomplishments, appreciate how far I've came, I was constantly running. And as a result, I burnt out. My battery fuel ran low. I burnt out. When I see people my age achieving amazing things, honestly, I have nothing but admiration for these people because they're inspiring me, they're paving the way for future generations, and I absolutely love it. I love to see people thriving. But subconsciously, I feel like there's always that risk that I naturally feel like I should also be working at the same rate, like comparing myself. And we all know the proverb, comparison is the thief of joy, and it generally is, because the projects that you do for yourself, the work that you do for yourself, the things you're doing for yourself are literally that. They are for yourself. You're not doing it for anyone else. And for me, I think I fell into the trap of wanting to do things because other people were doing them. And as a result, I wasn't getting any satisfaction from the accomplishments of the things I was doing. Even if they would be the most amazing things, I wasn't satisfied because my mindset was always, what am I going to do next? What's the next big trend in, say, the StudyTube community or whatever, which is very negative and unhealthy and definitely a precursor for burnout. But we need to accept that life is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be rainbows, unicorns, swings and roundabouts. It's going to have your ups and downs. There are going to be periods where you burn out, and that's natural, especially as students, especially as ambitious students, as many of you guys are on my channel. The aim for my life is being able to burn out and pick myself up. Being kicked down 8 times by life and still picking yourself up 9 times. Is the maths adding up? I don't know. I don't think it is. Okay, falling down 8 times and picking yourself up the 8 times. That's where we need to be in life. We need to have our weapons, our armories of techniques, stress coping techniques, ways that we manage our emotions so that when the going gets tough, the tough get going and we'll be amongst the tough. And this is not something that just happens overnight. It takes years and years of self-growth, introspection, reflecting on yourselves, identifying what stress coping mechanisms you have, whether they're healthy, unhealthy, learning how you work best, learning what your triggers are in order for you to kind of capitalize on your strengths and turn your weaknesses also into strengths. And I think if kind of last week or this week kind of taught me anything, it's that it's okay. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. And I think there's such a power in being able to pick yourself up after a setback or a massive fall. And many of you guys will know on this channel that I'm Christian, I'm a person of faith, and for me, my faith is my stronghold. Knowing that I can turn to Jesus in times of difficulty, knowing that I have this guide to my life to fall back on constantly, like it will always be there for me. It's such a reassurance and comfort. As I've been reflecting, I've been realizing that anytime I was feeling low, it would always correlate to me feeling spiritually empty, aka not being strong, firm, rooted in my faith. Oftentimes not being consistent in my Bible study times, quiet times, devotional times, periods where you just set aside 30 minutes, an hour of your day just dedicated to spending time in God's presence, learning more about God, reading the Bible, praying, meditating, whatever it can be. And yeah, faith is such a beautiful thing to the extent that regardless of the situation, whether I'm going through something negative or positive, it always gives me a positive outlook on the situation. And one of the examples in the Bible, and I know some of you guys might not be Christian, but I think the Bible is a beautiful book just to live by, and it has some of the wisest proverbs that will be relevant to your life, and it just has something for everyone and everything in your life. It's amazing. But yeah, there was this cool geezer called Apostle Paul. Some of you will probably know the story of Saul converting to Paul and was blinded by God, etc., from RE lessons. But in the New Testament, he talks about how he puts so much faith in God, and this is verse 2 Corinthians 12:10. That is the reason why he takes pleasures in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, persecutions, troubles that he may suffer as a result of being a Christian, because at the time Christians were being persecuted. His faith means that when he feels weak in his flesh, when he feels weak as a person, he feels low, which is natural for every single one of us, because as I said before, life is not just ups and highlights. But yeah, Apostle Paul says that when he is weak, he is strong, and the reason for this is because of this beautiful thing called faith. And I can honestly testify to the power of faith and how, like, you can be having the worst day possible, but as soon as you realize or just remember the grace, the promise, the beauty of Jesus' sacrifice on the cross for us, it just instantly fills you with this undeniable sense of peace and joy and happiness and just reassurance that everything's going to be okay. As I was saying before, usually when I'm feeling low, it's because I've been distant from God, I've been distant from reading my Bible, and I think this comes with a sort of feeling of condemnation. So I'll go day 1, day 2 without reading my Bible, without, you know, talking to God in prayers, and I'll feel so guilty that I've essentially been unfaithful to God, that I'll feel like I'm not worthy to speak to God. And it's this feeling and narrative of condemnation that the devil will often feed you, that, okay, you've sinned once, you've gone a day without reading your Bible, you're terrible, you're a sinner, you don't deserve to speak to God. And it's honestly such a lie. Through the free gift of God, through his sacrifice on the cross, all our sins have been forgiven. Even sins that you're going to commit in the future have been forgiven through his amazing forgiving grace. And Romans 8 verses 1 says that there are no more condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. And it's just such an amazing verse to realize that although I have been so bad in my walk with Christ, although I've been feeling so low, spiritually empty, hungry, all of this, I can literally turn back to God and his arms will be wide open. Yeah. Kind of just to summarize this whole video, looking forward into the future, what am I going to do? I'm going to be way more reflective. From experience, I already know what my triggers are. As soon as I see those warning signs, I need to act. I need to change something I'm doing. I need to, as I said, I need to go back to the Bible, go back to faith, so that I can avoid feeling burnt out. And another piece of advice I can give to you is, guys, get yourself a supportive group of friends. Honestly, for me, it's been so encouraging to have a group of friends that I trust, that one friend who can hold you accountable for the bad habits that you may have, who will tell you things as it is, who will give you the hard truth, not the sugar-coated truth, that one friend who literally knows you. The worst thing is being in situations like this where you're feeling burnt out, emotionally low, you're already feeling helpless, and not knowing who to turn to, it almost feels like there's not a way out. So having that friend there, having that support network there is incredibly important. And finally, the last thing that I'm going to work on looking forward is being more forgiving to myself. I spoke previously about condemnation in my spiritual walk and just in my personal walk, being forgiving to myself. You know, I'm not a robot, sis. I'm gonna make mistakes here and there. I will make a mistake, the same mistake over and over. It happens. I need to learn to be more forgiving on myself, and this feeds into kind of deconstructing this perfectionism that has somehow built itself in my life. And separate video for perfectionism, separate video for all these kind of topics. And yeah, with that said, I guess we've reached the end of my video. If there's anything you guys want me to elaborate on, whether that be my faith, whether that be talking about perfectionism a lot more, about burnout a lot more, please let me know in the comment section. Like, I'm waiting. I'm just gonna pause right here as you go to the comment section right now to type in the videos that you guys want to see, okay? No, but on a real, please engage, interact with me, guys. The most amazing thing is creating content that I love and that I know you guys will love because you requested for it. But yeah, I hope this video has been helpful. I didn't really want it to be super negative, but I just wanted to stay transparent with you guys. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to have those periods where you're not grinding, you're not at your 100% best. It's okay, and it's so important for us to keep being reflective, know yourself, know how you work, know your triggers, know how you deal with stress. And yeah, let's keep growing on this channel, guys. We're almost at 4K. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and that's been encouraging, informative, empowering, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Bye.